Alright, last day of court. This freaking mission or episode or whatever should be ending soon. This is the defendant lobby, alright, but there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? For in interrogation or something? I don't know. And where's Emma for that matter? It almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Hello, Edgeworth. Edgeworth! Knowing you, you've already figured it out. No, not really. Who the owner of the 7 ID number is, that is. Yeah, we know, it's freaking, it's Damon Grant. Or whatever. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. What the hell was his name? He had a name. Not this guy. This guy. Damon Grant. Yep, there you go. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True, not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right, and Chief Prosecutor Sky will be found guilty. But she didn't do it. I figured you would say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth. Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today is the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. Oh. If she is found guilty, you will lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. See you in court, right? Is the defendant just not here? This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Grant has on her, it's now. February 25th, 10 AM, District Court, courtroom number 9. There's no defendant. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Alright. Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. Oh. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Chief Grant. Here he is. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, Uggy. Been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Oh, the music fades away. Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. That's all? Oh, and it's just granted. What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished. Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. Huh? I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana! No surrender. Objection? You can't. Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. But Lana... Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Is he just holding her sister hostage or something? Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there is no further need to continue this trial. Even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. I'm gonna lose. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. He is gonna object. Edgeworth, right?
Objection!
Yep. One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy. He's back. I understand this is a difficult time for you. But why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, No. Huh. I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Grant. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal, Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. Huh. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh, to whom? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Sky, who he has he's got her hostage. I request the court hears her testimony. Hold it. Me? Oh. Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Sky. Oh. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Very well, the court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Grant? Worthy, you'll live to regret this. Mark my words. She is his freaking hostage. Miss Emma Sky, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. He's always helping me, bro. He's a good guy. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma. Emma Sky. My occupation, I am Lana's little sister and I want to be a scientific investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Drake of the Joe Drake killings. Is this correct? Yes. I am trying my hardest to forget about that though. I am sorry. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes. Yes, it most certainly is. Well, okay then. You sure gave in fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. Oh. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. 2 years ago, witness testimony. Let's go. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. Makes sense. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me. But I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. The man. It's a good thing you weren't harmed. I passed out. I don't remember much. That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. He doesn't know. He's leaving it on me. You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Let's do it. Cross-examination 2 years ago. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. Why? 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct? Yes, she was second in command under then Deputy Chief of Police Grant. My sister, she was the best detective ever. Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Grant and Miss Sky used to be quite the pair. Right. I believe they shared the same office. Yeah. That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk, which makes sense, and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day too. The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day. Dana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. Man came running in and took me hostage. Okay. Man? Yes, Joe Drake. He was a serial killer. Joe Drake was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Drake proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Sky and Grant's office. There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I Opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. Neil Marshall rescued me. What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were two people present during Drake's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Grant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Almost forgot about Grant. So Grant was also there. Why the hell didn't he come up? Why did the prosecutor come up? Shouldn't the freaking policeman have come up? Or detective? Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Drake. When Drake grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead. And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in. I don't clearly remember what happened then. But I'll never forget what I saw in that instance. Hold it. Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on Drake. Just then the lights went out. The light? It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out. Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right? There was lightning. Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind. I see. I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective? Yes. Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. Hear more. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago. Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial. And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw? Yes, but at the time the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. A picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before. Yeah, we have it. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? Ask about the picture. This picture the witness drew, I believe it has a very important meaning. Objection. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. No. Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seemed to have been lost. No, not true. You drew a picture of the scene you witnessed, right? Yes, I wanted to do everything I could to help the investigation. I have the picture. Does it show like it's Grant or something? It really doesn't, it just shows 2 people. I can still see it now whenever I close my eyes. That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died. Yet I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken? But I did draw it, I swear it. I'm not just imagining it. This picture that Emma drew, that reminds me. I guess I should check the evidence again. Well, anyway, let's continue. This scene that imprinted an image in your mind, can you please describe it to us? The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. We have the picture, but 1 minute, let's see. That must have been a real shock. Even now, when I close my eyes, I can see it still as I can still see it just as clearly. Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Drake was holding you hostage. When lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped on Drake and I was thrown aside, and the two began wrestling each other. I'm pretty sure I was watching them. Emma doesn't have any reason to lie, but Lana sure does. I need to get Emma to tell me as much about this as she can. Right. He seems to have been lost. Nope. Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you would insist on denying its existence. Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold. This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident? Yep. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over? Turn it... Ah! What's this? Yes, what is that? Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew. Indeed, two men appear to be wrestling here. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Huh? These lists, they are different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. Aha. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you. What? What? Order, order. But Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list? Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. Makes sense? Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... What? Your Honor! Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. It's damn true. Oh! Yes, that's quite conceivable. Mr. Edgeworth? It's possible. Let's see. Oh God. We found it. Is something wrong? Do you even have to ask? Man. Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing. The hell? That's that thing. It's the blue badger. That thing that was dancing in the evidence room. He's the murderer, the blue badger. Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. Great. I guess he was out of scrap paper. Well, exclude that part. Evidence list restored and updated in the courtroom. Court record. List of evidence in the SL9 incident. Half of this list was found in Grant's desk. Very well. Witness. Wait a minute. Check it. Oh. Well, I mean, there isn't much at the back. It's just arch. Very well. Witness. Will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago? Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor. What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. Maybe she remembered something. Witness testimony. Emma's picture. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright all I could see were shadows. After that I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. Okay. To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind. Thanks to that though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. No. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Drake about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Alright. Emma's picture, cross-examination. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. Hold it. Did you draw this picture right after the incident? I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything. During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge. Under the direction of Damon Grant and Lana Skye. 2 or 3 days later. The memory should still have been fresh in her mind. Excuse me, witness. But can you tell us why this picture is painted all black? Only shadows, she said. All I could see was shadows. Hold it. So at the time, you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue. Ooh. No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor. You were knocked to the floor. Drake had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed. Oh god. Incredible, okay. Poor Emma, I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? I must have fainted. Hold it. You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place? No, I'm sorry. The flash of night lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused a witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. He said the same thing. Anyway, this picture. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. Exactly, huh? Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course, this is the exact scene. Wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives?
Objection!
Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright? No, no, of course not. I'd better watch out or he might find some way to cut my salary. I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives. So I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me. Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture? Huh? Oh, well... That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here. What do you mean there's a contradiction here? I don't see a damn contradiction. What contradiction, bro? Loss of blood, one knife wound. Broken tip. All fingerprints, evidence from past case, scene of stabbing. What does it not show correctly? This giant arch? Clearly a contradiction here. The blade? I think it's like the blade. Is the blade like too big or something? This seems kind of crazy. Contradict this evidence? It does. I don't see anything contradictory. Yeah, okay. Contradicts, it does. I don't see anything. Oh my god. That's strange. Exactly seen imprinted in her mind, and yet there's clearly a contradiction here. Press her again. Sorry for asking, are you sure? Of course, exact scene, influence. Are you manipulated? No, of course not. Before hearing anything, anyone's story would have influenced me. I don't get how that is contradictory. No. Exactly, and yet there's clear contradiction here. Where's the pot? Nope. Do not save. Load. Come on, man. You wanna get me freaking destroyed? Contradiction. What's the contradiction, bro? Found in Chief Grant's safe. Evidence of something, but what? Where's Emma Sky's prints? I present this cloth. Like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. That's nothing. Really? Only shadows? Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. What is the contradiction? Stabbed in the back!
Objection!
Hell yeah, it's wrong. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction. What? But I still remember it like it was yesterday. Mr. Wright. Perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report? It's him looking in the front. I think it's this part. I don't see what's so strange. Died from a punctured heart and lung in the back. Knife tip in the wound. The knife.
Take that!
The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at that knife the man is holding. If you look at it closely, you can see its tip is broken. Oh yeah, the tip is broken. I thought it was a flat knife. No. Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright. But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too. If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body, but this is the first stab. It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Drake was the murderer. No. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma.
Objection!
And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound with the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. Exactly. What's the meaning of this? Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand, but then why the hell is it shard inside his body?
Objection!
Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. But if it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there. That's right. But what does this mean? Objection again. The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken.
Objection!
Nope. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. There is. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence? You're treading on thin ice, right? All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. No. Ah. She was killed with the statue, the trophy knife. That was not there anymore. Order, order, order. Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted? Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Drake along with Damon Grant. He must have taken his statue with him, the King of Prosecutors trophy with him. During his questioning, Joe Drake fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Drake. It is my belief that somewhere in the story there is a lie. I am not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. Oh, I mean, obviously. There must have been another broken knife. What are the chances of there being two broken knives? Another broken knife besides Joe Drake's in the trophy. Could there have been one? There is another. If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, can't just be explained away by a simple observational error. Mr. Wright. In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume then that you have some information about this other broken knife. Sure do. In the photograph, but we'll save first. If so, please feel free to enlighten us. The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. The photo. The answer lies in the past, 2 years in the past. Right here inside this picture. This is a picture of the award ceremony. Ah, he sees it. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding. That's a broken knife. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Drake's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. Damn true. Order, order, order. Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Drake, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. But that can't be. Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutors award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed. What do you mean? I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh. Oh! But the prosecutor was the one who actually died. That's true. What's going on here? They not possible. No, no. It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions. Hold it. She. Wait, I remember now. I remember everything. Witness? Mr. Edgeworth. What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please? His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back? Yeah. There's something behind it? I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it. Even the symbol? What? You drew that? That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. What the hell is that falling down then? All this time I have been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me. Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Sky? Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up and now the blue badger? This should be interesting. It sure should be. Witness testimony. Emma's recollection. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed towards both of them. What the hell? I think I knocked away the man with the knife, Marshal. Just then, there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. He's like, what the hell? This is certainly most unusual.
Objection!
Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago. Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Hold it. Stop, please. Don't pursue this any further. Lana. What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair. But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that? Chief Prosecutor Sky. Oh. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Silence. The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant. It seems we are finally getting to the core of the matter. Does the shadow look like, is it freaking his, Grant's shadow? Emma's recollection cross-examination. When I saw that man raise his knife, 1 second. I don't know where you could have seen the blue badger.
Hold it!
When you say that man, I assume you refer to Joe Drake. Yes, at least I think it was him. You think? All I could really see were shadows. The power outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports. So then I panicked and rushed towards the both of them.
Hold it!
Why would you do something so dangerous? What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall, or so you thought. She seems convinced that Drake was the one holding the knife. But as we've just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife. Well, I didn't know that at the time. When that Drake guy knocked me down, all I could think was I've got to help that other person. Alright, makes sense. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Okay, hold it. What do you mean you think? It all happened so fast and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur. Miss Sky was almost killed before she was witness to a murder about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little disorientation is only natural. I saw the man about to stab the other person who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife. No. What you did was very brave, young girl. So then, what happened next? Just then, there was another flash of lightning, and that's where I saw the blue badger. Are you sure about this? Of course, see? I even drew a picture of him here. But it was the chief of detectives who thought up this hideous beast. And that was just this year. The blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable. I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him before somewhere. 3 points on his head means something. Now I finally remember. Oh brother, just when you thought that thing had caused enough commotion. Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing? Dancing? Wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. Hold it there. His shadow? So you mean you didn't actually see his face with its winning smile and all? That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns.
Objection!
This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken.
Objection!
Nope. That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did. Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation. If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was. I don't freaking know, man. The pot? What was it Emma saw when that lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger really? I just might know. The blue badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Emma drew this picture. Yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the blue badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room. Mr. Wright. In this room. Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious blue badger look-alike. It must be this. It has to be the jar. It has to be. The mysterious blue badger was in fact this. But that's... what exactly is that? I believe it's some sort of jar. But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger. Indeed, it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint? I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. Then alright. We gotta figure out the angle, I remember. But that kinda looks cool, right? This has to be the third one. Kinda like that. Maybe like rotate it R. I mean that looks right to me.
Take that!
This isn't right. I've got to make it look more like the badger.
Objection!
Allow me to remind the defense its case hinges on the witness's drawing. If Mr. Wright can't match the shape the witness drew, we cannot accept his claim. I've got to find just the right angle. Maybe I should rotate it vertically a bit more or horizontally. Come on, Mr. Wright, you can do it. I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. Oh, God, they're like, do it again. In my head, this just looks right. Maybe I'm stupid though. I mean, I guess. Not really. Da 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 da. Like that?
Take that!
Oh, come on!
Objection! Take that!
I did not even mean to press that.
Objection!
I don't know what the hell I'm doing. That's not right.
Take that!
I pressed T again, that by mistake. What kind of brain freaking breaker puzzle is this? Hello there! 2 years looking at the thing. For sure, those are the ears. Are they like this? Like this. Or perhaps like this. Yeah? Have I not tried this before?
Take that!
This isn't right. Make it like the blue badger. That's what I'm doing. What do you mean make it more like the blue badger? It's the blue badger, bro. It like that? This isn't right. Oh god. I don't know. Look at it like that. Look at it through the thing.
Take
Isn't
that!
that cool? Nope. Okay.
Objection!
I get the objection. Very cool, the objection that you all raise. Hell, maybe it's the tiny thing at the front. Maybe I'm just stupid in thinking that it isn't just that. But it doesn't make sense. It doesn't match. Look at how low these things are. Oh, I did not mean to press E again.
Objection!
Who makes it Q and R? E is right next to R. I'm not used to pressing these buttons. This, to me, kinda looks like it, right? Like it goes up there, there's like a ball up there. And then, bro, this looks like exactly right.
Take that!
This isn't right. Bro,
Objection!
I save. I'll come back in the next one, I guess. We'll see.